From our Chicago studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Samana Siddiqui. Our top story tonight. Amid heightened security, a major organized protest to highlight the issue of Palestine was held at the Republican National Convention on Monday. Named Stand with Palestine, the march was led by a coalition of organizations advocating for Palestinian rights. Key figures include Jinnah Najib from the Milwaukee Muslim Women's Coalition and Rania Salim, a leader in the U.S. Palestinian Community Network. Student organizer Victoria Hinckley also spoke out despite recent academic challenges she and other students advocating for Palestinians have faced. Organizers plan a similar demonstration at the upcoming Democratic National Convention in Chicago next month to spotlight concerns over Israel's war on Gaza, immigration policies, and wage inequality. An analysis of video by the Washington Post confirms the accounts of witnesses who said they tried to alert police just before shots were fired at Saturday's Trump rally. The video also reveals chaotic scenes before the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump at the Pennsylvania event. Witnesses alerted police about a suspicious man on a nearby roof moments before shots were fired. The footage posted on social media captures bystanders urgently calling out to officers nearly 90 seconds before the attack. The Secret Service faces scrutiny for what analysts call a significant security lapse. Despite warnings, 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks opened fire from the roof before being killed by law enforcement. According to a person familiar with the investigation, the rifle was purchased 11 years ago. President Joe Biden has ordered an independent review of rally security, echoed by Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. The Secret Service, yet to comment, received praise for swiftly evacuating Trump after the shooting. Local police responsible for the rally's outer security reportedly received alerts but did not prevent the attack. Investigations continue into the handling of the incident, highlighting critical security oversights. Religious leaders of diverse faiths gathered at Wayne State University in Michigan to demand divestment from companies linked to Israel. The group includes Jewish, Christian, Muslim, and Buddhist leaders who all emphasize their religion's principles of nonviolence and unity. They have also criticized the school's campus police for violently dismantling a Free Palestine sit-in 2 months ago. Reverend Paul Perez of Central United Methodist Church called this a desecration of peace and justice. More than 70 interfaith leaders later urged university officials to apologize to activists and cease militarized responses to student protests. Imam Steve Mustafa El-Turk of the Islamic Organization of North America condemned Israel's war on Gaza, calling it immoral and indefensible. Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump holds a 10-point lead over President Joe Biden, according to recent polling. According to Rasmussen reports, Biden's approval rating stands at 45%, with 54% disapproving. In the latest New York Times Siena College polls, Biden trails by 3 percentage points among likely voters in the must-win state of Pennsylvania. He leads by only 3 points in Virginia, which he carried by 10 points in the last election. Meanwhile, Vice President Kamala Harris shows better approval ratings than Biden. She leads by 5 points in Virginia, which observers say reflects stronger support among young and non-white voters compared to Biden. Saturday's assassination attempt on Trump is expected to affect the elections, with forecasts likely to fluctuate as polling data adjusts. Trump currently holds a slight electoral advantage over Biden. However, critical states like Nevada, Arizona, and Pennsylvania remain undecided. Analysts say these dynamics suggest a competitive landscape ahead as the election approaches. Meanwhile, the Republican Party officially nominated Trump as its 2024 nominee on Monday. The crowd chanted "fight" as a bandaged Trump appeared on the stage at the event. An Ohio Republican senator known for once likening Donald Trump to America's Hitler has been selected as Trump's vice presidential running mate. Yale-educated lawyer and Iraq War veteran J.D. Vance shifted from Trump critic to ally after he won his Senate seat with Trump's endorsement 2 years ago. Vance is married to Usha Vance, who is an Indian-American Hindu and the daughter of Indian immigrants. Observers say Vance's candidacy marks a controversial choice given his past criticisms of Trump's policies targeting immigrants and Muslims. Vice President Kamala Harris has reached out to Vance to congratulate him on his nomination, expressing interest in a vice presidential debate. Analysts say Vance's nomination highlights the nominee's alignment with Trump's policies, despite his earlier condemnations of them. U.S. drug war and deportations report exposes the human toll. Details after the break, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. Welcome back. A report by Human Rights Watch and the Drug Policy Alliance has revealed the harsh realities of America's drug policies and deportation practices. The report reveals that thousands face deportation annually for past drug offenses, despite these acts no longer being crimes in many states. The report underscores how outdated federal laws devastate lives. Over 500,000 people have been deported since 2002, mainly for minor drug charges. This has torn families apart and destabilized communities. Advocates are stressing the need for urgent reform to align federal laws with state policies. The report emphasizes the urgent need to end the punitive cycle that continues to haunt non-citizens under America's drug war and deportation regime. The families of school shooting victims are criticizing Florida Senator Marco Rubio. This is for his recent comment suggesting that God protected Republican frontrunner Donald Trump during last Saturday's assassination attempt on him. The families see it as an attempt to divert attention from the issue of proliferation of guns in the United States. Fred Gutenberg, whose daughter died in the 2018 Parkland, Florida school shooting, joined in, questioning Rubio if he believed God failed to protect the victims in Parkland. Gloria Cazares, whose daughter was killed in the Uvalde, Texas school shooting 2 years ago, also challenged Rubio's assertion. She asked for a clarification on whether God had failed to protect her daughter and classmates. Rubio, previously supportive of gun control measures after the Parkland tragedy, faced criticism for his current stance on firearm regulations. A Duke University study has found that Black adults in the United States have developed specific ways of coping with the chronic stress of racism. It found that these strategies emphasize resilience built through lived experiences of racial discrimination. This was not found in their white counterparts. The study notes that social support and religion are important factors that offer emotional support and a sense of community. It also identified common strategies such as avoidance, substance use, positive reframing, and activism. The study notes that in response to racism, Black women often engage in activism and social support, while men use passive techniques like ignoring it. Duke's research says professionals are urging recognition of these methods to enhance mental health support and advocate for further research into diverse coping strategies across ethnic groups and identities. Experts say the findings highlight the need for culturally informed mental health care, as well as ongoing research to effectively support marginalized communities. In most parts of the Muslim world, Muslims mark the day of Ashura on Tuesday. Ashura falls on the 10th day of the Islamic month of Muharram. It commemorates the martyrdom of Hussein ibn Ali, grandson of Prophet Muhammad, in Karbala, Iraq in 680 of the Common Era. Ashura symbolizes his stand against a tyrant, and it is observed with mourning rituals across Iran and Iraq. In the Iranian capital Tehran, Iranians gathered to remember Imam Hussein and his 72 companions with processions and laments. Similarly, in Najaf, Iraq, mourners paid homage to the Karbala martyrs. Ashura also holds historical significance beyond Karbala, associated with events like the parting of the Red Sea by Prophet Moses and Prophet Noah's departure from the Ark. It is a day of fasting, originally a Jewish tradition, later adopted by Muslims. In Gaza, civilians endured another harrowing night as Israeli forces launched relentless attacks, killing at least 49 Palestinians and leaving 69 others injured. Israeli airstrikes targeted central Gaza, hitting the Nusayrat, Al-Zawayda, and Maghazi refugee camps. An Al Jazeera correspondent reported significant casualties and destruction. Since early Tuesday in central Gaza, the Israeli army has killed at least 19 Palestinians. Medical teams in Khan Yunis, located in southern Gaza, recovered 4 bodies and rescued 3 injured individuals from the rubble of a bombed home. In Rafah, 4 more bodies were brought to a local hospital. The Israeli military claims ongoing operations in Rafah have resulted in the deaths of several fighters and the destruction of tunnels and infrastructure. The Israeli military also reported extensive operations in the center of Gaza, with the Air Force targeting about 40 sites. Meanwhile, China is hosting a meeting of Hamas and Fatah leaders in Beijing on July 20th to discuss intra-Palestinian reconciliation. Turkey condemned Israel for damaging Gaza's only specialized cancer hospital. In a statement, Foreign Ministry said it will seek justice in international courts for the attack on the Turkish-Palestinian Friendship Hospital. Since Israel's war on Gaza began on October 7th, at least 38,713 Palestinians have been killed and 89,166 wounded. The International Court of Justice has accused Israel of genocide and ordered an immediate halt to its military operations in Rafah. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, or UNRWA, has condemned Israel's destruction of its Gaza City headquarters. Head of UNRWA, Philippe Lazzarini, expressed shock over the attack, calling it a blatant violation of international law. The bombed-out complex, which is now a battlefield, underscores the need to protect UN facilities from military use. Amid broader Israeli airstrikes across Gaza, the assault on the UN compound highlights escalating tensions and casualties, including over 140 deaths and numerous injuries. The European Union has imposed sanctions on far-right Israeli figures and illegal West Bank settlement outposts. The move targets these settlers as well as organizations accused of obstructing humanitarian aid into Gaza. More sanctions were placed on Israeli settlers Moshe Sharvit and Zvi Bar Yosef for alleged involvement in violence against Palestinians. The EU's move follows similar measures by the US, the UK, Canada, and France. They are all aimed at curbing violence against Palestinian civilians. Israel is expecting increased international pressure following an upcoming International Court of Justice ruling on the legality of its West Bank occupation. That's all from our Chicago studios tonight. Thank you for tuning in. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates. Your support is needed more than ever to continue our mission of providing informative, educational, and inspiring content to Muslims in North America and around the world. Donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV or visit muslimnetwork.tv. Salam and good night.